Okay, I am going to be making a demonstration video here. And as you can see, I am on the lower graphics settings. And I'm going to go over a little bit of graphics settings here. I'm set on low. I'm set on 64 meter draw distance. I want a little bit better than that. We could probably stretch it out on this computer to 136 comfortably. And this is really important right here where it says objects and Sculptease LOD. Always push that up to 4.00. Even if you go up to ultra quality, it'll only go up to 3 by itself. Push it up to 4. It never costs you anything in frame rate, and you'll be able to view your Sculptease much better from a better distance. Okay, I'm going to click apply and click OK. And we got an Ercoupe just purchased by these people, and I don't know why this guy's sitting so high, but I'm gonna help him out here. He's a tall guy. What's the matter with these windows? Okay, right now there's a little bug in these windows. I'm gonna go over that with you. And he's an extremely tall avatar, and people like to have extremely tall avatars. She's more of an average height, so he's sticking right up to the plane. It's nice to observe. His feet aren't sticking out the bottom, though. It's always a good thing. Okay, let's get looking at my plane. We already got the windows down, and I'm going to jump into it. And if anybody wants to join me, who's got their ears on? Nobody. Okay, well, let's ask GM to hop in. She doesn't have her ears on, so I'm gonna have to type to her. Type to her. I'm going to click on my plane and I'm going to sit in it. And then I'm going to wait for her to jump in. I think she'll just jump in. There she goes. Okay. I'm going to tell her what I'm up to because she doesn't have her ears on. Nor am I broadcasting in Second Life right now. Okay. I'm telling her I am making a video. Telling her that she is in the video. Okay. There's certain things that are in development right now, and some things aren't published. So I'm going to tell you this works okay if you just talk it in now. And this is what we're going to do a test of. I've never actually done this, but I'm going to turn autopilot on. And then ask her to stand again. Okay, and I'm going to turn in PI. Okay, now we get a little message right here. Ignore that message. Ask her, please sit again. As soon as she does, she's going to satisfy all these little error warnings. So please ignore that when you turn Copilot on. I'm just going to close it out. I'm not going to get any more warnings. Okay, now actually she and I both really have complete control of this aircraft with nothing else, nothing other than that. Okay, I'm going to tell her that. And ask her how good she is with her camming. And by the way, camming is done with Control Alternate, and you see that little thing, you can kind of like pan around like that, and then if you just hold Control, you see a plus sign, and then you can go like this, like that, with your right mouse button. And I hold down Control and Alternate at the same time, and I can do a round and round kind of pan. And I can do that as I'm sitting here in the plane getting ready to fly it. Okay. And ask her if she wants to help operate the plane. Do you want to help operate this plane for the video? By touching. Okay. Other people don't have seemed to always have trouble with this, but really, I just explained the whole concept of using your camming. Okay. If I just click anywhere in the plane and then I hit my yoke button, I go back into default mode, which is like a follow view. And this is pretty neat. I designed in that little smoke back there. I'm so proud of that. Took me years to figure out how to get that to blow out directionally like that. Get a little dust, but I think it's excellent. Okay, outside of that little bit of bragging, let's look back into the dash. She doesn't want to work the dash, but she could if she wanted to. Okay. I'm going to start the plane again, and we're going to start it by going to start. And we start it up. And I got my sound pretty low on the engine and all that kind of stuff because I didn't want to drown out the soundtrack here of me talking. Okay, we got the engine started. We should put on the beacon. That should have already been on. That lets people know that there is a engine running and live prop on this airplane. Turning on the navigation, turning on the navigation lights. I don't know why that just went in. Maybe she just touched it. Did I just touch it? I don't know. I'm going to put that back on again. And I'm going to flip on instrument lights. Her knees there, but that's one of the drawbacks of Second Life is avatars aren't necessarily where they should be. We've got the cabin lights, cockpit lights. Everything else seems to be fine. We have the beacon lights on. Strobe should be on. Okay. And here you have a tight yoke and wide yoke. Here you can switch wide to tight, and I'm going to put on tight for right now. I suggest setting that as your startup procedures, okay? And you have floats or standard, and you can set that. Um, let's go on from there. Okay. Gonna cam in. We'll do a little run up, and we'll watch the dials. The HUD you see up above on top is a beta HUD. I'm about to get out to everybody who has this plane. I'm hoping within a week of the time I've made this video. But it's not reacting properly. You'll notice that this artificial horizon's acting inverse. I'm gonna have to fix that. And then I want to add these switches here onto the HUD so that the aircraft, you can work the aircraft off the HUD or work it off the instrument panel. And then I have to make the Copilot HUD work just the same, and to make them all communicate properly, and that takes a little time, so it'll take me about till next week. I'm also planning a little device up here. It's going to be a little like optional thing you just stick on the plane, and it will be for setting your autopilot. And I will explain more about autopilot in another video. Okay. And if you notice right now, we have a... never mind. Okay. I am going to set her back down to 0. Dang it. You can see throttle right there, and you can also see when it says about when it says 4 here, that's idle. Okay, and then we can touch release the brake. And then I'm just going to click anywhere around the aircraft with a single right click, and then use my arrow keys, and all of a sudden I'm in control of the aircraft from a chase plane point of view. And I'm using my HUD up here as my set of instrumentation. And I'm going to do an inside of the airport touch and go. So I'm going to set my cam little thing here so I know where the boundaries of this airport are. And I will use my normal throttle up. That dust cloud should be working more variable along with the amount of thrust coming out, but it's malfunctioning just at the very moment. I'm going to turn my sound off. Apparently it's still on in Second Life. There we go. Okay. We're going to do this one military flight pattern, touch and go, because I want to keep this video slow. And just generally talk about flight characteristics and things like that. Okay, we went way too fast here. I'm gonna go straight and use my reverse throttle. No, you wouldn't have this on a regular Ercoupe, but we do in the Second Life version. I'm going to go back to 0, maybe a little more. Okay. Okay. Now we want to throttle up darn near 100, get the airspeed above. Oh, we want to get the airspeed above, where's the airspeed? Right here, above about 100 knots on this plane, the way it's set up right now, just to be safe before we rotate upwards. And then I'm going to do a turn, a tight left turn at the end of the runway, get into a pattern flying within the sim just for the demonstration. Okay, 40%. Okay, we're above 100 and we're gonna pull out and lift. I'm using full mouse here, excuse me, full, and now we're gonna cut throttle to make it more manageable. Okay, that was a fast takeoff. And I'm going to click Y here and Y here, Y here. Okay, now it says wide yoke. I didn't have time to look inside the cockpit to do that. So now I'm going to have much wider control of the aircraft instead of, it'll respond better, faster. I didn't have time to look at the button on the inside of the cockpit. Okay, I'm going to get down to, I like to skim right across that little, okay, we want to get by 0. I'm going to skim right across the top of that dome, that glass dome. Scare the hell out of them, but that's part of my flight pattern. Works well for me. Okay, let's increase. Look at my vertical thrust, my vertical speed. We want to get that back up to about 0. Cruise in over here, drop the throttle again. And this would be downward leg if this was really a pattern, but this is really a tight pattern, so this is the actual approach and landing. 0 throttle. Okay, and then we'll throttle up a little bit, make it look good, come down to here. Let's go back to a tight yoke. And cut the throttle really quick. Oh my god, we're gonna crash. What's he doing there? Ouch. Go reverse. Okay, we technically crashed. But let's pretend that didn't happen. I was doing a lot and I was making a video and it takes a little bit of concentration just on that part. So forgive me. Okay, now we're gonna turn off on this part of the runway. And then we'll do a little shutdown. It looks dark out there. How come my landing lights are not on? I don't see them. They're not on. Let's flip them on. Yeah, that's better. I still don't see them. It might be because I'm on, they flip on. Might be because my graphics settings. Yeah, it says they're on. Okay. And then we're going to throttle 0. And we'll use the reverse throttle, so I'm gonna hit this guy with my virtual wings. Okay. Then I'm gonna take this opportunity to cam back into my cockpit. Click the brake. Turn off all the lights. Except for this beacon. Leave that on. And then we want to touch this 3 times. And the engine will stop. Okay. Then she just jumped up. I got an error message. I could ignore it and say co. And we will not get any more error messages. They are only error warnings. They're not really errors. Okay. And last thing I'd like to show you, the last switch I have here is the float switch, and if I flip that, you also notice the brake turns on. That's intentional because when the plane's sitting still, it's really important for the brake to click on. Okay, and to work the gear on this, does not have a switch anywhere yet, but type G and the gear will go up on the landing gear or back down. Still got the beacon on, engine off, so it's safe to turn the beacon off. Okay, everything is down except for we're in floats mode. Okay, so let's just flip that back down. And that would be a good shut-off procedure if you wanted to. And float tight mode, that can be set to everywhere you want it. It's safe to say that if you pushed all the buttons down, you'd probably be good for safe shutdown. Throttles down to minimum, brakes on. You can now just stand up and hop out of your plane. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you appreciated it. And today is July the 17th, 2016, and this is a demonstration of the the Aero Hawk. And that's all I have to say for now. Have a good one. This is Martin with DSA Aircraft signing off.